In all fields of academic research, writing is very important. Writing quality articles and getting them published serves the purpose of reporting new or existing knowledge to a community and helps peers stay abreast of research and outcomes within a field. This body of knowledge then promotes the creation of new research in a field. This module will help you to learn the process of research writing and outline a research paper. Let's get started. Let's first explore what a research paper looks like. Usually, researchers know what topic they would like to research. If you do not have any idea on what to write, start with whatever interests you. Read as much material as possible on this topic, and then narrow it down. For example, if your broad interest is in football, you may narrow your interests down to college football. You can even narrow this further by focusing on players and their post-college careers, or nutrition and players' health, etc. This is an essential step in your research process, as all the research will be driven by your research questions. Your research question should not be too broad or too narrow. It should be concise and to the point. For example, what are the effects of long-term smoking on lung cancer? This question is not too broad in the sense that it focuses specifically on lungs and not the entire body. It does not generalize smoking, but focuses specifically on long-term effects of smoking. This is an ideal research question that is to the point and defines the focus of the research, stating specifically that it is limited to long-term smoking and lungs. This step will help you in gathering all previous works in your research area. The compilation and synthesis of this information is called a literature review. You may use Purdue Library databases, online resources such as Google Scholar, and other quality periodicals, journals, books, and databases. The Internet is a treasure trove of information, and using it appropriately helps a long way in gathering literature. Make sure, however, that you are identifying high-quality, credible references, not just resources that are based on opinions. Sift through all your literature and decide which ones you will be using for your paper. Understand that not all literature can be used in the research paper. You want to make sure that the literature you include demonstrates sound research practices and builds appropriately on the body of knowledge in a field. Even if you find a reference that has already reviewed the literature, you need to conduct your review as well. This will help you start writing the paper. It's always good to summarize relevant articles instead of writing them verbatim. This also helps in minimizing plagiarism and allows you to track which sources will be used in different parts of the paper. An outline provides a skeleton for your paper. Writing an outline will help you know the structure of your paper and to also place your literature in the appropriate sections. Once this is done, you can start writing your research paper. A research paper needs to have flow and a structure. This section will talk about the general structure of a research paper. Depending upon the type of research you are doing, this structure may vary. Remember, your research paper will always depend upon your research question. This includes the introduction, body of the paper, and conclusion. The abstract. The abstract is a small paragraph of about 250 to 300 words which summarizes your research. Include the purpose of the research, methods, and your significant findings. An abstract is typically written after the research paper is completed, since you know how your research is going to end. Often, the abstract is an independent section, which comes before the introduction. The introduction. Here you will present the relevant background, the need for your research, specific terms and concepts relevant to your research focus, and goals. Remember, this is important, as the introduction is the section where readers will decide whether the paper is worth reading in its entirety. Captivate the readers here and specify the importance of your research clearly. The body of the paper. You will build this from the outline of your paper. The important part to remember while writing the body is the flow. Also, make sure each of the sections are linked with each other in a consistent manner. The review of literature. Here you will put in all the relevant literature and specify how it helped in the development of your research question. What is the gap in the research? And also, what, if any, are your predicted outcomes? This is the foundation of your research. You need to identify how you will use the literature to back up your research. Methodology. Here you will put any hypotheses that you are testing or your sub-research questions that you are investigating. You will also include the process of the research, your target population, where you obtained your sample, the specific instruments you used for the research, etc. Describe your research methods clearly so that future researchers may replicate your findings. Results. In this section, you will present the results of your research. If you have any demographics, start with those. The presentation of results will largely depend upon your field of study and the widely accepted norms in that field. Relevant tables and charts detailing your results should be included in the results section. Discussion. This section is the interpretation of your results. Mostly, a discussion will be carried out from the researcher's perspective based on the research question. Tie this discussion back to the reviewed literature. For example, how is your research consistent with past findings? How do your findings differ from the previous ones? What could be the possible underlying reasons that you obtained your results? Conclusion. Summarize your findings or arguments and reiterate how the research is important. This section should answer, so why should I care about this research? Depending on your field, a conclusion might not be needed, and the paper might end with a discussion. In that case, answer the "so what" question in the discussion. Future work and implications. In some fields, these may be optional sections and can be skipped depending on your research and field. Including these sections may offer a good idea for furthering your research to other researchers. At this point, you should now know more about the process of research writing and the overall structure of a research paper. If you need more information about publishing and academic writing, various resources are available in the Purdue University libraries, bookstores, and online, as well as from your graduate mentors and professors. We hope you enjoyed research writing. Thank you for watching.